Hi, hello, I'm Sam Harrison. I read, review and discuss fantasy and science fiction books. And today we're going to be opening my latest Your Paper Quest box. So I've got another box from Your Paper Quest, who kindly sponsored me in September. So they haven't sponsored me for this particular video, but I did just want to let you guys know that if you're thinking like, oh, Sam's biased because he's got money from them in the past, like, yeah, absolutely. If that bothers you, click away. However, you might have won your Paper Quest box for yourself, so stick around. Because last month I gave you guys the opportunity to win a Your Paper Quest box, and I have randomly selected from the comments on that video 4 winners, because I've got 4 boxes. In fact, here's one of them. So this is one of them that's going to be going out. So if you're interested in seeing whether you've won, I mean, you'll know because you'll have been tagged in the comments down below. C'est la vie. So, what is in this month's box? Now, it looks like it's been opened, but I left this out and my son opened it. That is why it looks opened. But I personally have not looked inside before, I can promise you. So let's have a look. And the first thing I want to do is I want to find the letter that tells me what's happening. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about Your Paper Quest in a minute, but essentially the way that Your Paper Quest works is it's a curated indie book subscription box where they pick a theme and then they choose some books, and then those books are like really properly curated. So the guys who run it, Ryan and Steve, they read the books, they choose the best ones that fit the theme, and then they send them on out. So it's always indie books, always self-published stuff, and I think it's really genuinely a fantastic way to do business. And I really like that I was able to support them in September, and I liked also that they supported my channel because they were the people that enabled me to buy the upgraded microphone. So the better sound quality that you guys have had since September, that's purely because of Your Paper Quest. I didn't want to spend my own money on the channel when it wasn't making any money, but as soon as some money came in, I was like, right, time to upgrade. So we did actually. I got a new phone, which is better quality, and we've got this new microphone. So thank you to Your Paper Quest. And if you like watching my videos and you like hearing the good sound, you should thank Your Paper Quest too. So this month's theme was uncovering new dimensions. Your Paper Quest September box is finally here. So they sent this to me in September when we did the sponsorship, but I was like, well, I'll wait until the sponsorship period is over to open the second box because reasons. September is finally here. Summer is slowly coming to an end. The trees are changing colour. The nights are getting longer. And we thought that you could use some escapism. Here are 2 indie books we love featuring the crossing of dimensions. So it's got here a description of the books, but I want to read those off the back of the blurbs. Back of the blurbs? Back of the book blurbs. So let's have a look. I've got 2 exciting books here to discuss. Oh, this is a lovely cover here. Okay, so this is Duckett and Dyer, Dicks for Hire. So I assume it's about prostitution. Michael Duckett is fed up with his life. His job is a drag, and his roommate and best friend of 15 years, Stephanie Dyer, is only making him more anxious with her lazy irresponsibility. Things continue to escalate when they face the threat of imminent eviction from their palatial 5th floor walk-up and find that someone has been plastering ads all over the city for their detective agency. The only problem is, he and Stephanie don't have one of those. Despite their baffling levels of incompetence, Stephanie eagerly pursues this crazy scheme and drags Michael, kicking and screaming, into the fray. But they find that they are way out of their depth when they stumble upon a web of missing people that are curiously linked to a sexually audacious theoretical physicist and his experiments with the fabric of space-time. And unless Michael and Stephanie can put their personal issues aside and fix the multiverse, the concept of existence itself may ironically no longer exist. So this sounds very funny already. There's like a little note in here, which is really cool. Hey everyone, thanks for reading our story. I know it's a little out there, but hey Mike, what you writing? Okay, so it's like written in character, which is fun. Got a nice little embossed, endorsed by Your Paper Quest stamp, which I enjoy. And yeah, I didn't mention this does have a little Your Paper Quest bookmark with a note from the author, GM Nair. So yeah, this one looks like one that I will definitely be picking up. I didn't actually say the author earlier, but GM Nair. So yeah, I will definitely be reading this one. The other two books that I got from Your Paper Quest were both sci-fi, and they were both really interesting as well. And I am quite into urban fantasy, as you guys know. And this kind of sounds like urban fantasy, urban sci-fi, I guess. Like modern day sci-fi, and of course, being a book called Duckett and Dyer, Dicks for Hire, it's probably a comedy. And it sounded pretty funny from the the description. I love the Stephanie on the front here, like doing the finger guns. Big fan of that one. So let's move on to book number 2. Oh, I'm going to put the note back in the book so I can read it once I'm reading the book. Okay. Casual Business with Fairies by J.W. Judge. Another good cover here. I like the simpleness of this one. This reminds me a little bit of Ryan Carhill's covers, where they are kind of designed on purpose to be simple and to fit in the bookstores and things like that. So let's read this bad boy. Well, the back. Not all fairy tales end with happily ever after. In a time when a new breed of fairies are not beholden to the old covenants that have governed the relationship between humankind and fairies for centuries, the Bone Collectors Guild has risen as a force that intends to forever shift the balance of power. Scott Warren finds himself in the middle of a conflict that is generations in the making. Until now, not only did he not know the parties, but he didn't even know they existed beyond the lore and children's stories that were told to him and that he has passed on to his daughter. When someone shows up at Warren's law office claiming to be a fairy, he must decide whether the world is as he has always believed it to be. And if not, are the stakes great enough that it warrants getting involved and placing himself in the crosshairs of the Bone Collectors Guild? Regardless of his decision, he is left with the lasting impression that doing business with fairies couldn't be a more treacherous endeavour. So this is fun. The guy who wrote this, it says, is a lawyer. So that does sound very fun. I do like when you get people who are you get people who are authors, but their like day job informs the writing. So there's a comic author called Charles Soule who was a lawyer as well, and so when he wrote Daredevil, it was like very good and like accurate to the legal system. Let's have a look what else you get in this one. So we have got a little note at the front with Your Paper Quest logo. And, it's like a note from Scott Warren. So it's like a little note from Scott to the reader. And I do also like the... so Scarlet Oak Press is the name of the individual like indie publisher that he's the J.W. Judge, a lawyer called Judge. That's a good one. That's like what's the term? Synchronicity. But Scarlet Oak Press logo, it's in the front of the book as well on the Your Paper Quest Boss page, and I genuinely enjoy that. That's a lot. That's good. So yeah. Very good quality printing, as always with Your Paper Quest. And both of these actually sound really up my street. So one of them, I mean, these are both urban books. So this one is more urban fantasy than the other. Like we've got a law office that's now having to deal with the world of fairy. And then we've got in this one, private detective agency that's dealing with maybe some sci-fi stuff. Is there any sci-fi stuff in here? Can I flick through some pages? I only saw a reference to Columbia House Record Club, which is always funny. Well, I say always funny. Can be very funny. So, yeah, this has been a pretty decent box, especially for me specifically, who is into urban fantasy. And I've really been wanting to read more comedically like leaning books. So, in the past, I've kind of I feel like comedy leaning books are very hit and miss, you know, like they don't, sometimes they just don't click with you, and you're like, well, I don't know what's going on with this particular, you know, like if it's not your sense of humor, then it's not, you don't enjoy it. So there are a lot of like absurdism style humor is stuff that I just don't really enjoy, like Mighty Boosh style stuff. So in the past, things that people have been like, oh, this book's hilarious, have just not got me at all. But then there'll be books that I read that I think are genuinely really funny, that are not billed as comedies at all, that just have like characters that say quips and are humorous, you know? So yeah, I hope this sounds like it might be more down that line, and I'm interested in reading that one. I mean, both of these look really good. I think that if you are interested in either of these books, they can also be purchased on, you know, Amazon and everywhere else. Let's have a look at what else was in the box. There's a couple of other bits. So, so there's a sequel to a previous book. So the book that they featured in March this year has had a sequel, which is exciting, and they're just letting people know in case you want to read that. So that's good service, I would say. And then, oh, this is cool. They've got a thingy, code for a discount with another independent retailer, which I will cover up the code because you've got to buy the box or get the free one, I guess, from the competition. Speaking of the competition, let's find out who the winners are. I mean, I already know. I picked it before I started recording, but I now have to get my laptop and the notes that I wrote. Okay, let's log in. Okay, so I've got 4 winners for 4 boxes. These were picked completely at random. A lot of the people who commented were friends of mine. So I was like, oh, if this, like, I was concerned that this was just going to be a list of 4 of my friends. Luckily, only 1 of my friends was picked. So let me go through. So number 1, the first winner is, drum roll. I can't really do a drum roll. Peter Everett 2525. Fantastic name, Peter. Big fan. Named my son Peter. And hopefully you will enjoy this box. Once you see this video, so if you are one of the people who has won, send me an email. So my email is sgch.business@gmail.com. It's in my YouTube bio. So yeah, get that email and send me your name and address, and I will get this posted out to you. Probably like next week because I'm lazy. Next up, we have Amazing Liar, level 12. You are a Wandering Inn fan, I'm sure. I'm pretty certain I've seen your comments on a load of my Wandering Inn videos. Hopefully you enjoy these books. Next up, Furry Bison 212. Again, someone who's a pretty regular commenter. So congratulations to Furry Bison. I hope that you guys don't all live in like Australia or somewhere, and this is going to be very expensive for me to post. However, drop me your addresses and I'll get them sent out. And finally, we have Run Mapper Sam, who isn't me, I promise. It's a different Sam. He's got hair. And is actually a long-time friend of mine who comments on a lot of my videos and is on a mission to map the town that he lives in and run every single lane and street in his town. And he's got a really good YouTube channel around it. So if that sounds interesting to you guys, then definitely pop over and give him a subscribe. He's doing mostly shorts. So if that's interest to you, you could probably watch all of his videos in like 20 minutes and have a great time doing it. So if you're interested in your paper quest, then all you need to do is Google them because it's very easy to find them that way. However, I'll pop a link down in the description below. You can go and sign up. I did used to have a promo code for them. I don't know whether it still works. So I believe it was Sam20. Give it a shot. Maybe Ryan and the guys will reactivate it for a week or something if it's been turned off. I'm sorry if I'm making work for you, Ryan. I do hope that you guys enjoy these books. If you get the same ones as me, let me know, because I know that these were random boxes, not specifically, I didn't know they were specifically all the same box. So if you guys get the same book as me, let me know and we can read it together. We can do like a buddy read sometime early next year, because December is Wind and Truth time and November is already allotted to other books. Anyway, so yeah, I think this has been a really fun time. I do love unboxings. I know I'm basic for that, but you know, classic YouTuber stuff. And both of these books look really excellent and I'm looking forward to reading them. Thanks so much for watching today. If you have liked today's video, please give it a like. Again, if you've won a Your Paper Quest box, please drop me an email. My email is in my YouTube bio. Also, if you're not comfortable giving me your address, I promise I will not use it for anything. So please do just post it over. Well, email it over. If you are interested in either of these books, or you'd like to chat about them, or you'd like to recommend me some more indie series to read, then drop down in the comments and do that there. If you have won a book box, please do also say so there, so that we'll know, so that I'll know that you've watched the video and to keep an eye out for your email. And finally, if you haven't subscribed and you haven't joined the community, then what are you doing? Let's get it done. Especially if you've won a book box, like that just makes sense. You know, you owe me a sub now, really. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.